Good morning, all, or good afternoon. Hello. Hi, how you doing? This is Carl Markowski, and you are listening to the Playing On podcast. Thank you for joining me. I hope everybody made it out okay from Atlantic City. I saw there was a bunch of delays. There was a bunch of weather, and it looked like a wild ride. I thought it was. It looked like a giant mist was just there the entire time that everybody was. I know the weekend, this past weekend here, it was just torrential, downpours, and it was just super wet everywhere. So I can't imagine what it was like. I mean, it didn't look crazy like Dallas wet, but it looked like that annoying mist where you get the little dots on your lens. So, but anyway, congratulations to Edmonton Impact on the AC win. I thought it was. Man, they're good, man. That is a solid team, but it's just like I said. I said it in this podcast too. It's like anybody can beat anybody. I think it was New York Extreme. I could be talking out of my ass, but I thought I saw that New York Extreme beat them in prelims on Saturday. It could have been Revo, might have been Revo. I don't know. I'll have to go back and check, but you have to have that perseverance to be able to fight through those and make it to Sunday and show up on Sunday, and that team knows how to do that, man. But it proves that anybody can go out there and put an effort in, and you will have a winning result as long as you put the work in. And yeah. So let's get to our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by PunishersPB.com. Punisher's been around since about 2003. They have a large range of products and brands from anywhere from like speedball stuff to scenario game. Right now they have a Spire 3 promotion going on to where if you trade in your Spire, you can get money towards a new one. So that's pretty cool. They also have a little promotion going on to where if you type in the code TPOP at checkout, you will get free shipping on your order. But if you head over to PunishersPB.com, you will find all kinds of gear, from packs, loaders, all kinds of craziness. But anything you can find that you can't find anywhere else, Punisher's PB will have it. And like I said, type in that code TPOP and you will get free shipping on your entire order. So thank you to PB Punishers. We are also brought to you by Charm City Paintball. I've said it before, the head game guru. This guy, he makes Mike. He makes headbands for a lot of people out there, but there's a reason why, because the stuff is quality. He not only makes the headbands, but he also makes the pack bands that I wear on my pack. He makes the head wraps. Right now he has some pretty slick white tie back head wraps. He has all kinds of shit, man. If you head over there to his Facebook or his Instagram, he's always posting new materials. All of his runs are, excuse me, got a little stuffy nose. The temp change is killing me. But if you head to Facebook or Instagram, Charm City Paintball, he has all of his fabrics and patterns up there. But all the runs are about 10 headbands or less, so all of them are pretty limited and pretty rare. But check them out, Charm City Paintball. Also brought to you by Carbon, where they have the niftiest undergear, if I do say so myself. It's the SC protective top and bottom. It's a compression fit with integrated padding in the elbows, knees, hips. But I've been wearing it since about 2 years ago, I want to say, and they've really come into their own. I mean, they have made a big difference in a lot of people that wear knee pads, elbow pads. There's no sliding of the pads around or anything like that. But if you do prefer the freestanding knee pads, they do have those. It's called the CC line, the CC knee pad. But what they're also really big and known for are the packs. They have a compression, not a compression pack, but a this SC pack, which actually has a air pocket in the back that conforms to whatever design your back is. So however weirdly shaped your back is formed, it will form to your back with that, with the air. But if you don't want the air pocket in the back, they also have the CC harness, which is very similar to the SC harness. It doesn't have the air pocket, but it fits just as well. But they have pants, they have headbands, they have tops, bottoms, jerseys, yeah, backpacks and stuff coming soon. But make sure you check them out, carbonpaintball.com, and if you type in the promo code capital TPOP, you will get 10% off your entire order. So that's pretty sweet. So thank you to Carbon Paintball. And last on the list, but first in the marker game, is Planet Eclipse. They are killing it, man, with these CS2s. I know they are very, very popular. I'm looking at their website right now. It says sold out on their CS2s. Hot cakes. All the top pros are using them. I'm still using the LV1 series. I really enjoy that series, but man, those CS2s are flying off the shelf. But if you are more on the mechanical side, make sure you check out the ETHA, the mechanical ETHA that they're actually using and promoting as a rental marker. Those things are nasty. It's got a hinge trigger, single hinge trigger, and shoots like butter. But thank you so much to all of our sponsors. This episode is with Brad Johnson. He is you might know him from the Paintball Ruined My Life YouTube channel or any of the other social media platforms that he has. But I want to get him on here because he's doing something that not a lot of people are doing as far as paintball goes. I mean, he's not only doing review videos, but he is also doing, doing up-to-date kind of social media stuff for the NXL, for other events, for products, for he does a lot of live videos, answers a ton of questions from a lot of new players out there, but has also been in the game for a long time, and you'll hear that throughout the podcast. But I had a great time sitting down with Brad, and I hope you guys enjoy. Give it up for Brad.
I tried a good hour and a half the day when we last week trying to get it to work right, and I was like, oh,
I know it's so much more complicated. The way, I mean, it's not complicated, but it's just people think it's so easy. It's like, oh, you just you get on record. Yeah, you can get on record, but like if you want actual decent audio, like these blue snowball mics, I feel like are a steal for sure for $50.
This is a handheld microphone for shoving in people's faces, so it's not meant to talk like this, but whatever, it works. I've never used it before.
Yeah, if it works, man, that's all that matters. As long as it works, it's not whether or not you think the audio sounds good when it really doesn't. It has to sound good, but as long as it just sounds good, that's all you need. And then obviously content behind that. But
God, I go back and listen to my audio, and I'm like, there's a 2% echo in a certain frequency, and I'm crazy.
Yeah, I the very basic that I found in GarageBand, the basic audio setting that they originally just set on it without me touching it, for some reason is just at the right for everything,
and it's perfect.
Yeah,
whatever.
It just works.
There's one guy out of 10,000 who's like, I don't know, it's not perfect. It's that doesn't matter.
It's no, just fucking do it.
Yeah,
but I always had an idea for what I was thinking about, because as a player you can only do so much. Then other than that, you're working. But I feel like there's not many that are out there, because there's not many that go from, I think it was Callie and Drewby used to play and then go shoot. They would go film.
Yeah,
pictures and whatnot.
Yeah.
But or if they're not if they're not playing, then they're working a booth or some shit like that. But
sure.
I thought of doing like a live show and going up to, not how Go Sports does it, not to where they're like, they ask these questions or who do you think's going to win or this or that, and it's all kind of pre-recorded. I'm talking about like walking through the venue for like a good hour with a camera guy and a mic, and you're just talking to people and you're talking about different subjects, and it's just kind of like a, have you ever seen that show like Billy on the Street?
Yeah.
Something like that, but you talk to people a little bit longer, but it's kind of just very random and going through.
So, like, there's a YouTube channel called GCN. It's called the Global Cycling Network.
That sounds familiar.
And I talk about it a lot because I compare it to like what I do and like paintball, but they go to bike races and then walk up to all the pro riders and they're like, hey, what's your favorite tire size, or what is whatever. And I was going to do that at World Cup last year, but I just was so busy with product that it was just not feasible. I was going to walk around and just ask one answer questions to like 50 pro guys and then just compile this thing together.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why this microphone exists. Like, I bought it for that specific purpose, and I just never did it. That was no time.
That's the thing, is like, there's so much, I feel, of good ideas that can be taken advantage of. That's not right now. I feel it's very like black or white. There's not very much in between. And if you can figure out those in betweens, I think, which I think old school paintball media tended to do.
For sure, certainly. It's all about money.
And that was without the ability to live stream.
Yeah, live is cool too, because it's just intriguing. I mean, that's the reason people watch live sports. So.
Do you ever get tired of, like, because I know you go on those and you just kind of answer the questions as they kind of come through, and do you ever get tired of the ones that's like, should I shoot this kind of gun or should I shoot this kind of gun? When in reality, it's completely up to the personnel.
It doesn't matter. Sure.
Yeah, guns they're so good now.
So we should say this. Are we starting this now? I feel like we haven't even stopped talking to each other.
Well, that's the good part. You kind of just you go. Yeah.
Do I get tired of answering questions? I'm learning how to use the Skype thing, and I'm clicking stuff that I probably should not be clicking.
I mean, the very simple, fundamental, actual question that is completely determined by the person asking the question. Like, that's what it comes down to. You shoot both of them, or I'm sure you have friends that shoot both, and then you want to be my friend on Skype?
Dude, I don't know what I'm doing.
You're good. Everything's recorded. You don't even have to do anything. You just have to sit back, relax, and
I know it. I don't know what I'm pressing. I'm screwing this all up. So how do I see like multiple windows?
I just have you full size on the
like, what is going on? There's like tiles? I don't
really?
know. I'm screwing this all up. I see.
Oh, it's all good.
Well,
but I mean, when somebody asks you on your personal preference on one gun or the other, you're basing your answer off of your personal preference. Right?
No. So that's the difference, right? I think that when it comes to me, not just me, but people with a lot of experience in like a situation with like, well, we'll just say paintball. So I've been working in the paintball industry for, oh my God, since 2003 or something like that.
Oh, really?
So I owned a store for 5 years. I worked at a store. I worked for Angel. I worked for Faceful. I worked for.
What were you doing at Faceful?
Writing. At like the very end. Like the very end.
How long
I
was
was probably the last person there.
How long was your stint with them?
I worked maybe a year and a half. A year.
Enough to know how the wheels are
turning. I couldn't even tell you what years it was. But I think that when I'm telling people things like which gun to buy, it comes from an actual place of which one's more reliable.
Right.
And which company is easier to work with and which one's easier to fix. And
according to you, though. Like, because
Well,
of,
sure, but that's everything.
well, yeah, but I mean, that's
You know.
that's what I've been trying to understand about this whole like phenomena on YouTube of people, people. Oh, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? They review things. They
Sure.
the review videos. You're literally watching somebody else kind of give their opinion on this certain thing.
Yeah.
When the best thing you're gonna have is like going and experiencing it for yourself, and it's so crazy just how many people are out there that are able to make a living off of doing that. It's so intense. It's so crazy to me. Yeah, it's like a critic, but you're not wavered on as heavily like because of the whole movies thing. It's just about anything in general. You know, you can give your opinion on, and whether that people like it, it's like they'll troll you a little bit, but then that's it. When critics are like these only, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I don't know.
No, I completely. It's kind of like you're like, oh, well, this product is blue, and you're like, well, I don't like it because it's blue.
Yeah.
Like, but it's the best ever, and you're like, but it's blue. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's weird. At least I do feel that, like, when I say stuff, at least it comes from a place of understanding
Right.
the stuff. More like other paintball actual review videos. When guys are like, I don't like this one, and it's like, it's the second paintball gun you've ever owned. It's like, how do you
I don't like this
like
one.
how do you know what you're talking about?
Yeah, right.
Where it's like a lot of the other reviews too are done by stores or manufacturers, so it's like, well, they're not gonna like actually say anything. They're just gonna be like, it's the best, buy it.
If they're under contract.
Here's the link and here's the price.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if you have a deal with GI and you can't go on there and be like, you know, whatever. But it's just like being a
like
a professional player. Yeah, it's so tough to give your
Certainly.
real opinion. In my opinion, though, I feel like the LV1s are, if not one of the best shooting. But that's my opinion. You know, it's not because I'm sponsored by Eclipse. It really is not. I've been shooting them since like the very beginning, and it's just been. I shot other guns, and I was like, just there's something about the LV1 platform. I don't know.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, it's an intimidator. You know what I mean?
It's just a crazy spider, right? I mean,
Which is a crazy spider. Which
crazy
is
spider.
what was before spider? What was it before that spider?
oh, I don't know.
Like that was
I mean-
that style. Because spider was huge. I mean,
There's been a lot of stuff. I mean, we're gonna call the first stack tube pop it.
yeah.
God, I don't know. I have no idea. Something
it-
old, something in like '88 or something. Like,
Would it have been a 32 degrees?
no,
marker?
it was way before that.
Before
I mean,
that.
it'd be like Sheridan or like PGPs, or it'd be something really old.
But what was the first compressed air though?
Like
That-
first gun that used compressed air?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I could answer that, because there was a time when guys were using like CO2 and compressed air mixed, and like it was crazy. Because they were trying to get like
nuts back then.
the higher pressure of compressed air, but if you'd put liquid CO2 in the bottle, you could get more shots, and like it was. It was crazy.
I would not want to be at a fill station sometimes with some of these things, man.
Dude, paintball was crazy back in the day. Like, could
my
you
God.
imagine playing without a face, like a bottom on your mask?
And then when you ask them, and then when you ask the old school guys, they're like, I didn't really get shot in the face that much.
I've been like,
And there have been a lot who have said that, and I'm like,
dude.
okay. Well, I mean, I guess if you're like always shooting like this and you have your eyes down the barrel, I mean, you're pretty much covered up
your
from
hand or hopper or like something like that is gonna get hit first.
Yeah.
But imagine yelling and getting like shot down the throat,
Oh.
like in the back of the mouth. You're like, ah.
Well, I've had it where I did get shot in the mouth and I was yelling, and I had shrapnel go down my throat, and it
for
was,
sure.
especially on the harder paint too. You pull your goggles up and you have blood running down. I was like, I don't know. I did
And imagine if that was a whole paintball,
pass.
just like bam in the esophagus.
And were those lenses
terrible.
regulation? I mean, the ones that they were using, or were they just like
Probably not. I mean,
motocross
were there
goggles, right?
regulations? Yeah, that's true. The very first ones probably were just motocross goggles or skiing goggles or something like that.
Scott, yeah, because I believe the first ones were like the first ones I remember seeing were Scott's and
Yeah,
The JTs. Right?
JT, yeah, because JT was BMX stuff.
Yeah.
I always get that confused. BMX or motocross? I don't remember. I don't know. So
JT
you leave
racing, BMX, I think.
You leave pretty soon, huh? I've been all day today, like literally all day since 9 a.m. And it's now 7 p.m. And all day yesterday, working on an NXL Atlantic City preview video that is coming out tomorrow.
Really?
I was going to say, you leave pretty soon here. Atlantic City.
I won't be there.
You're not going at all?
No, dude. I'm still rehabbing my knee.
I guess there's no real reason to go.
I mean,
This
is how I thought of it. Is if I go, well, here. Okay, so I believe, and I'm guessing you're saying that because Aftershock hasn't been doing too well.
Yeah.
Assumedly.
Well, no, not really. It just I don't know. Something made me think about it.
I like that.
No.
The thing is, though,
Yeah.
I like that. Well, I like that position, right? I like being the one that's counted out. People think everything's a joke.
For sure.
And I always think back, I'm like, it's what paintball players at the core preach all the time, right? It's any given Sunday, any given game, any given match, player A will shoot player B. And then player B will shoot player A. And it's so like a fucking throw of the cards. Like every single time you walk on the field. And then eventually as the point itself gets longer, the better team will eventually win, the team that's more prepared. But I think if you could win every point within the first, and I'm not even talking hang the flag right away, I'm talking getting the majority of percentage that you're going to win that match within the first 30 to 45 seconds, you could probably, I say that we could hang with anybody out there, and if we can do that and even pull out a couple long points, I think we'll be just fine. I think we will podium this year. And what I love is that, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
But dude, I believe in the team, man. I believe in the kids.
So before this, I was like making notes about stuff to talk about, and that's why I sort of feel like I'm preparing. I kind of thought about that. I'm like, man, so Aftershock got rid of a bunch of people, or whatever happened.
They left.
Like, yeah, kind of figured that much.
Yeah.
But like now with like McKenna and Simmons back, like I don't know. I feel like maybe the team is better now than they were. You think so? Yeah, I think so. I'm like, man, now it's like 2014 Aftershock. I'm like, it's like old times.
Missing a couple guys. AJ, Wozni.
Yeah, sure,
I'm trying to
sure.
think who else. Sosine.
Yeah. So he played forever.
And I think that the closer we can get to that, dude, and I was listening to a podcast, and I know that the Aftershock that took third at World Cup in 15, I want to say, right? But so if we go to 14 and the team that won, or the team that got third at Mid-Atlantic Open, I believe it was, we had a bunch of guys that nobody really knew about, I feel.
Yeah.
On that team. And I think that kind of proves that just as long as if you guys believe and you work as hard as you can in the time allotted, I think that any team out there has a good chance to win. And it's
For sure. It's like any sport. Yeah. I mean, you're pro because, I mean, paintball's a little bit different. You're pro because you decided to be pro. Almost.
There's so many.
NFL,
It's weird stipulations.
It's like,
yeah.
You really have to earn it. But yeah, it's like any other sport. Everyone's really good.
Yeah.
So it's like any day, for some reason you could have two guys that are just really good at shooting off the break that day. And then every match it's like a 5-on-3.
Yeah.
It's very possible. One of the things I was kind of concerned about with you guys and Thunder is what happens if Thunder gets relegated, and then what happens if Shock gets relegated. I should say Aftershock, because Shock
Yeah.
is semi-pro. Because, like, do they stay? Do you guys stay? Or, like, does Thunder stay in semi-pro? Like, that seems crazy to me. Like, Aftershock and semi-pro would be nuts to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
It's just
that
crazy.
Sounds like a question for Rennick Miller.
I think that question gets decided the last day of World Cup, though. Too, you know, like we're not thinking about it. Like, I wouldn't even want to entertain that idea until we absolutely had to.
Well, and I don't know what kind of position that Rennick is in. Like, that's the thing too. It's like sure. Does he want to continue? Does he not? Does he really put the effort towards kind of rebuilding something like that? But I don't know. That's, I wish a lot more team owners with a bunch of dollar bills all over the place would come in and start actually taking it serious when it's just so kind of like three.
I don't know. I hear that. I it'd be cool. Sweet, it'd be cool if all 20 teams had a guy that was worth, $500 million, and he could give the team $1 million every year.
Yeah.
Is that good? Like, do we want just a bunch of guys with a bunch of money controlling everything? Because what happens when Bart and Randy Smith are both we're good, and they just go do something else, and then all those guys that were real professionals don't have jobs because there's no money to pay them to play paintball.
Yeah,
it's sweet. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to just play paintball and do nothing else. But
well, yeah. Who wouldn't?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a little nerve-wracking. It's I guess just concerning to me because I would rather the industry be able to support the players rather than just some random guy.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think I lost my audio. Hang on one sec. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, jeez. I can't. I just lost my audio in my headphones. That's all right. Whatever.
So you can't hear me?
No, I totally got you now.
All right.
All right. So I'm sure we'll get into more tangents too. We're only 20 minutes in, so I love just talking and I love talking about now what's happening with paintball. I love talking about what happened back then, everything in between. I love that it's we can talk about the product side. We can talk about. There's a lot to talk about, which is good, which makes for good content.
I could talk about paintball products all day. I was thinking about that before. I'm like, man, Carl, they're always talking about crazy stuff, intricacies of paintball, the actual game. And I'm like, man, it's I just know everything about compressed air tanks. I was I just know all kinds of stupid stuff.
Well, what people think is interesting though is obviously something that you're doing or giving your opinion on, so it's obviously hitting a certain spot, and I think that's what's great about it is that you can have something where it's paintball and it's informative, and I think it's good. I think it's great for I think this is great for the sport because it brings other people in.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I at least think that I still don't think we have enough media and paintball content. But there's too much, maybe not too much, but I don't think it's spread out enough. So I think that what you do, there's this new Pull the Trigger podcast. I'm sure you saw that.
Yeah.
There's that, right? There's Go Sports and whatever. People make stuff, but there's not enough content for newer players.
No.
And I feel 90%, 85% of the people who actually consume the stuff that I make are all new people. Mm-hmm. Which is cool because a guy who plays paintball twice is probably not going to listen to this. Maybe, but probably not because he's on YouTube or Google what's the best paintball gun to buy or some nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think at least that's different. Me just talking about products all the time gets those newer people because that's what they actually want to know about. They want to know about what to get.
Yeah.
What to buy.
Is that what you enjoy doing, or does it get kind of repetitive?
I enjoy it. Well, let's say I sold my paintball store because I wanted more freedom. I wanted the opportunity to like at the end of this month, I'm going to go on a 12-day bike ride. So I'm going to ride my bike to Portland, Oregon. And owning the paintball store, I could do those things, but it was difficult, right? Like, it's just way harder to have like an actual like place I had to go to work and get 2 weeks off. So I enjoy it because of that freedom. And I like making stuff, so it works.
Yeah.
And I just look at people asking repetitive questions as it's not repetitive to them. You know, they only asked it that one time. So they're not like,
that's true.
It's not like they're asking 15 times. So while it gets repetitive sometimes, it's okay. Like, it doesn't really bug me. Some of the questions I definitely don't answer because I'm like, oh, this one again. but like, yeah, it's repetitive, but it's okay. Like, it's not, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, if it doesn't bother you, that's, you enjoy it. So.
Yeah, I guess so then, huh?
So, how did the name come about?
So it's definitely from that JT shirt. There was the JT shirt back in the day.
That's right, the orange one.
Yep.
Or it was, yeah.
I think it said "Paintball Ruined My Life" across the front or the back. I just can't remember which side. And then on the other side, the opposite side of the shirt, it said, "But it was worth it." Oliver Lang, apparently, he says, came up with that, like, I don't know, slogan for the T-shirt or whatever. That's where it started. And I actually started a blog, paintball blog, in 2007 that was called Paintball Ruined My Life. Then I started working for Pro Paintball and then Face Full, and then that just went away. So I restarted it.
What was what was that article on when you back in 2007? Like, what was your first article?
Oh God, I don't know.
No?
I mean, because when I was doing at least my thing, Paintball Ruined My Life, the original site, it was just like every blog, right? Like all the news things that happened and like all the new products. So I was posting multiple times a day.
Yeah.
So it was difficult. It wasn't any long form things. I mean, I guess maybe there were some long form things, but it was mainly all quick, like 200 words and then like some pictures or something. Yeah. Nothing crazy. And that same thing I did for Pro Paintball and Baseball, really.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Paintball Ruined My Life.
I've always wanted to. I've always enjoyed writing, and like being artistic and graphic arts and drawing and everything like that. And I've always thought of going like a direction like that, but also trying to stay with paintball. And I think that's where I got really excited when I was able to do my first graphics through Planet, and I kind of had I was able to mock mock those concepts up, and I enjoy doing that so much. I would love to like keep doing them, but.
So you designed those? You designed them?
So
all your private guns?
So I came up with a mock-up. So I had what was the first one? The first one was the LV1 with the headdress, and then the second one was the other headdress, the 3.5, the H2K one, and then and then the Hawk was the CS1. But I came up with the concepts for all three of those, and then I had 3 different artists like do it all up.
I always said if I had a private label gun, it'd be black. I think that'd be so funny. It'd be hilarious because Planet Eclipse does all this like cool stuff when they release a player gun or a team gun. Like they do these like neat social media posts or whatever, and they put the person's name on there. It'd just be so funny if it was just like Brad Johnson. It's just black. It's just nothing. I don't know why.
That'd be pretty sweet.
It'd be hilarious.
I always like the darker ones, man. The darker markers where it's like, especially the matte colored. I didn't really like I don't really like the shiny.
The polished. What is that? Oh, I got one of those.
Oh, dude, these are awesome.
The EMEC. See, but mine's got a barrel.
Ooh, see, I was
barrel on.
well, I don't have the stock barrel on here. I was actually shooting with the Eclipse shaft, or the Eclipse that carbon fiber one with this, and I was like, holy shit! I was like, ball on ball. Yeah, and with the hinge is so much better than the slide too. I think.
That's what I noticed, right? So I have the GMEC and then I have the EMEC now, and I can shoot the EMEC. I'll bet 30% faster than the GMEC. It's weird.
Totally, and it's effortless almost.
It's crazy, man. Like, those guns are so good.
And they're gonna be rental markers.
That
good. Cracks me up. Oh yeah. Oh, ease of use for these is gonna be great. But I would I would use this in a tournament, hands down.
I mean, it shoots just as good as every other high-end gun on the market.
Oh,
I mean, they really do. That's crazy,
dude. It's so nuts. I enjoy shooting it. Bruno would. I asked him. He said, "Don't even fucking ask me that question." I was like, oh, "Man, I'm telling you, I'll shoot the same amount of paint, and I'll probably shoot, if not better, with this thing." And he just gave me this look like I'm fucking crazy.
I do understand that, though. Like, maybe snap shooting's better because you're, like, part of the gun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it just kind of feels better. Like, when you pull the trigger, it just, like, feels better. Like, because you're actually doing something.
Yeah, you are the one putting that ball out the barrel. Like,
yeah, it's just not software going.
I like to feel it, man. I like to feel when I pull the trigger and just you get that little pop. It's like, yeah. And it's a fuck you. Every little ball is a fuck you down the field. It's great.
I love them. I think they're great.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess to the point where, like, I've just been waiting. I've had mine for like 3 months now, and I've just been waiting for Clips to, like, I don't know, get on it and start shipping them so I can, like, do a review on the thing. And I was thinking about it today. It's like the EMEC is so good that in this review, I might even tell people if they're going to rent equipment, only go to a paintball field that has EMECs.
Wow.
Like, they're so good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, it just kind of sucks because so many of these rental guns are, like, loud. They kick a bunch. They break a ton of paint.
They're durable.
They're just not good.
Yeah.
So it's like the EMEC is quiet. It doesn't kick. It's easy on paint. It's, like, reliable. It's air efficient. It's, like, better at everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. Oh, so are the eye covers just holding in the detents?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do they have an extra detent in there? I haven't even...
I don't know. I've never actually taken the eye cover off. I couldn't tell you. Because it is the exact same body. Eye covers are all the same. It's just the lower half. So the lower half, trigger frame and foregrip are all specific to the EMEC. And then this is the new body for the ETHA 2 as well. So all the EMEC bodies are going to be the new ETHA 2 bodies. It is funny though, the first time I picked this up, because of the ETHA, the battery goes into foregrip, and the first time I picked up the EMEC, I was like, trying to, like, take out the battery, and I was like, oh, there's no battery. Foregrip.
I thought that would be. At first I thought it was for like an empty chamber, like where you can click out the bottom and you can carry your tools or something in there.
Shove some stuff in there. It'd be cool, but you got to think most people are going to use these as rentals too. So it's like,
yes,
the people be losing stuff or, like, just jamming shit in there and, like.
But imagine they start getting popular to, like, tournament players, and they start putting their, because you have the double click on each side, and you have your chrono tool right there, or even build it right into the molding of the bottom itself. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's actually a good idea. So you take the whole bottom piece out, and then on the top there's, like, an Allen.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Registered trademark, Carl Markowski.
Tools on the field.
False.
Really?
False.
I mean, I always wondered. That's like, how the hell do you change your velocity? I mean, I guess you.
You're now allowed to carry a tool, and I think that started last year.
Interesting.
And I still don't.
Or no? Like,
I just started actually. Yeah.
Gotta read the rules. The rule book.
I don't read very many, man. I just know the basic ones that are pretty like the duh rules.
Don't use the rule book too good. You don't want to follow the rules too good and know the rules better than the refs, because they don't even know the rule book.
Oh, no.
So you try to, like, pull some tricky stuff that's in the rules, and they're like, "What are you talking about? It's a penalty." And you're like, "No, it's not." They're like, "Yeah, it is." You're like, ah.
But there hasn't been one player in the pro league who has not broken the rules in one way or another. It is what it is.
Of course.
It's not an honesty sport, I'll tell you that. Airsoft is honesty sport. Paintball is not.
It's supposed to be honesty. I don't know. I feel like I've also talked about that recently. Is that like I do feel that paintball has gotten more. I don't know what the right word is. Maybe like less cheating, or maybe more honorable, or more gentlemanly, or something like that.
That it is like more like that, or is it?
Yeah, for sure. Because, like, think about 2005. If you got caught going on the field with a gun that was full auto, uncapped, and I don't know, you were shooting 340, like everyone would be like, cool. Like, that's just how it is. But now like the Tauntauns, when they were shooting like 350, everyone was like, oh my God.
I remember that, yeah.
Like, it was such a big deal. But like,
I was playing,
yeah. Was that against you guys?
That was when
it was Texas. I think it was Texas.
God, it might have been Chicago. I don't know, but yeah, it was. They shot 2 guns over like 370 or something like that.
4. They had 4 guns.
4 guns.
One was like 370. One was like 340, and one was like 320 and like 320 or 330 or something like that.
Yeah,
that's
and
crazy.
I'll tell you right now, that just doesn't happen randomly.
No, and even if it does, you'd be like, damn, my gun's crazy. Like, all of a sudden, if you're shooting like 380, it's like, why is this thing kicking so much?
Yeah.
So know it, and they just try to play it off like, yeah, I don't know. I just think that I think that tournament paintball has gotten more gentlemanly, and the reason that I've thought about that is because people keep bringing up like wanting to change the rules and go back to like semi-auto uncapped and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. I think that if we went to semi-auto uncapped, we wouldn't see a lot of guys cheating. Like, I don't think we'd have a bunch of cheating boards like we had 10 years ago. I think it'd just be semi-uncapped.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome.
I think we'd find out most of the guns don't shoot correctly in semi mode.
Yes.
Because they like add shots secretly. But I don't think guys would purposely do it anymore.
No, especially if they have the penalty be, so out there that it's not even worth it.
You're kicked out of the league forever.
Yeah, a 3 tournament suspension, or
something crazy.
Yeah, something crazy where it's like, I'm not even gonna fuck with it. I'm just gonna leave it stock. The factory can confirm it's stock. If they can have a little QR reader to see if it was fucked with as you go on the field. Each board is scanned, and like, okay, you're good while you're on the field. Like, as you go on the field, like if you're getting chronoed, right?
Yeah, it's like MPPL. I mean, MPPL didn't do this, but MPPL had those RF chips in like the boards and stuff, and they kept track of how much people shot and stuff. That was
everybody's
cool.
board.
Everyone. There was that one year where everybody had an RF transmitter in between the solenoid and the board on their gun, so they could tell every time the solenoid tripped, it would send like a signal, and they'd know that person shot. It was so cool.
Yeah, so why can't we use that now and put it in semi-pro and be like, okay, nobody's cheating, so you're not cheating. It's actually
the hardware's cheap. I mean, the transmitter is super cheap. I mean, you could probably build these for like $5.
Really?
But then I don't know what else is all entailed. Like, I don't know what the receiver costs and like implementing that, and like, I have no idea. But the MPPL definitely did that, because I remember you could look at all the data. You could be like, oh, whatever team shot 2,415 paintballs. It was like super obvious, like who shot the most, and it was obvious the teams that shot the most won too.
Yeah,
but that could also be because they're not losing players and they have 7 guys alive, so yeah, they're gonna shoot more.
Yeah, there is that. People tend to shoot their guns when they're still in the game.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But even going back to like the way I play, I feel like I don't shoot nearly enough. I don't know why I enjoy just being able to move down the field with only shooting, 2 paintballs per guy or whatever, unless I got to hold a guy in a little bit longer. But being able to move down the field, but it's just having the counterattack up the middle on the other side, or I don't know. It's tough. It's hard. It's a tough position to play.
I really thought we'd go to shooting less paint. Like, I thought we'd go to limited paint. I really expected this year the league to go to limited paint.
I did too, actually.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it matters really as much anymore. I think these big, huge bunkers have kind of made it not necessary. I feel like the points are faster, maybe. So, like, we don't have these 5-minute long points where everyone shoots 14 pods.
Well, I think skill. I think it's going to be weird to try and describe, but I feel like the player's ability to shoot left-handed and right-handed, depending on like, it doesn't matter whether or not you're good at actually pulling the trigger multiple times to have 10 balls go out or 10.2 balls go out.
Yeah.
Because if you can play a guy's less dominant side and he can't, if he's not ramping and he's shooting semi-auto and he's trying to, like, he has a lot less likely chance to be able to hold you in to your, if that's your strong side. So, but now having it ramping, it's all at the same level. So even a guy, just a guy turning and shooting and doing this just with one finger, it's like, I feel like I preach this all the time, but it puts a baseline on the player's abilities across the league without any kind of repercussion, because you're being assisted at that. So there's players that can't shoot well one way or the other, but they're being assisted with the marker, which should be a skill set that you have to learn and be able to do.
For sure.
And I feel like this is the ramping takes it away from that.
I totally see that. I've always thought that, like, I totally understand that side, and I've always thought too that I kind of like ramping because it allows me to maybe think about the game more rather than I suck shooting left-handed fast, so, like, I worry about shooting left-handed fast. So I'm, like, thinking about, am I shooting fast enough, and, like, just stressing out about shooting rather than thinking about the actual game. But then again, shooting is part of the game, so
yeah.
That's
so,
kind of a
but
dumb argument.
But are you going to tell me then you're not going to go back and try and work on your left-handed shot at practice, and not be able to use that as an excuse?
Oh no, of course, yeah, it's my problem. It's like guys talking about the NBA and how, like, whatever, we got to start. There's some new rule the NBA is trying to do where they're not going to allow, like, if you foul a guy in the last X amount of time, they're just going to give you the ball and points rather than the shitty guys having to shoot free throws. Yeah. But it's like, that's the whole point. Like, we should all have to shoot free throws.
Yes.
Just because that guy sucks doesn't mean we shouldn't do it anymore.
That's a perfect example.
It's paintball.
Yeah. Yeah.
I suck shooting left-handed, but that doesn't mean we should have ramping. That's not your fault I suck left-handed.
Yeah, exactly. And now you're shooting left-handed like a pro because everybody's shooting the same amount. Yeah. And the only thing that would go against you is that if you have bad reaction time and you didn't get in your bunker quick enough. Other than that, you can stay out and just make it rain on the entire field.
Yeah. That's my method of snap shooting too, by the way. I'll, like, come out, snap, guy goes in, and I'm just going to stay there. I'm just going to keep shooting.
That's not a very good strategy.
I just don't go in. I'm like, okay.
Sometimes you can do that, though. Sometimes you can
wait for him to come back out.
Oh, it's so fun. It's so
That's
fun
the good part about, like, playing paintball for nothing. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm going to go out there and, I'm just going to run to their back center off the break. Or, like, randomly, I'm like, I'm playing Snake. Like, it doesn't matter. Because I'm, I don't have a team. I'm not playing for anything. I can just, like, while out and, like, do whatever I want.
Just try not to get hurt. That's like...
Yeah, that's my thing now.
That should be a team's motto, like, try not to get hurt at practice.
Yeah, your knee. How'd you hurt your knee?
So after Dallas, it was really sore. Like, it wasn't like oh my god, right now I'm done, something like that. But it was after Dallas, just how much mud initially got thrown down and everything was pretty much coming up from hell. All the mud that just came up. I thought I was fine, but as I started diving into it and everything, and my knee and the whole bottom half of my knee started moving in different ways because the ground is so fucking mush, that eventually I was like, dude, this is fucking killing my knee. And then I came back, and I think it was like Tuesday, I went to a morning jiu-jitsu class, and a guy had me in a leg lock and just, I guess, gave it just that little bit more of a tweak that it needed in it. I had like a couple meniscus tears.
That happened to me.
Yeah. Oh, fucking sucks.
And now I can't, like, I know it's good now. Like through normal life, it's really fine. But like if I crouch, like if I like completely bend my knee and like put my like I don't know my ass on my heel or something like that, like it starts to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't. Like I can't. Playing paintball sometimes hurts too long. Like I can't be on my knees like super low, or it starts to hurt a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the thing with paintball. It's so rough on your knees and your joints and your hips and
especially in your position.
Yeah. Ugh,
constantly on your knees.
That's why I like playing Doritos. I'm like, put me on the Doritos.
Really?
Put me on my feet. Yeah.
You just gotta play in the middle. Now you don't even now in the center of the field. You don't even have to like go on your knees. You just stand up the whole time.
And I like playing up the center. I think it's.
I loved it.
Fun going.
I mean, I missed this W. Like that thing, dude. That bunker was built for me. Like,
I thought it was still a little too big though.
I could go to that thing and shoot it. I'd either get bunkered or shoot 4 guys. Like I feel like I could shoot every single bunker on the field from the W. Like everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. And you take one big step, and you can just have that whole...
It's like the Mars guys, like the Mars brothers. Like those dudes just like burn, just like get to those tall bunkers and like you just can't hide. It's like they just shoot down on everyone.
It's fun though being able to like shoot guys in like that. Who they shoot a lot, and it's hard to like find their cadence of them loading or like as they kind of, because not everybody can just hold that lane. Everyone eventually, no matter the most patient paintball player, you can hold a lane and you'll be like, all right, man, this fucking sucks. I'm gonna check this off. And as soon as I see that little bit of a gap, I'm like, I try and that's like simple shit that I hope is being taught nowadays at fields for like younger tournament players coming up, is like the simple shit like that, like head checking, and doing things like running and looking downfield no matter what position you're going to.
Not just head down.
Yeah.
It's one thing that's definitely changed is that like we were talking about like content for the internet or whatever before. And it's like, man, when I came up playing paintball in like 2002 to like, I don't know, we'll say like 2005-ish, when I was actually like trying to get better and like, just get good at paintball, there was nothing. Like, nothing that existed. It all was reliant on like maybe some guy at the field helping me. And that never happened. It never happened. And now kids, like, if you're 17 years old and you want to get better at paintball, there is so much stuff on the internet to like watch and learn from. And back in the day, there was nothing, like absolutely nothing. Maybe there'd be like some like cheesy, like half-assed article in some magazine that tried to help. But man, there's so much stuff now for kids to get better at paintball. We had nothing. It's just like hoping someone helped.
Well, we learned.
Crazy.
Well, and do you think sports are ever going to get to that point where every athlete is so good that everyone is constantly playing defense?
Like in paintball or just in sport in general?
In sports in general.
Is everybody going to get so good? No.
You don't think so?
I mean, it's the same thing that like, I don't think anything's ever going to peak, right? It's like people saying this is a common thing too. It's like, oh, are paintball guns as good as they're going to get? And it's like, no, of course not. I mean, like they're really good, but 10 years ago, everybody thought that like the Angel LCD or whatever was like the best thing ever. So I don't know. I don't think that we'll ever see like, I don't know, people so good that it can't be like we just play defense or can't actually play paintball or play sports anymore.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Good. It's like baseball. Like imagine a guy, like guys keep throwing, you played baseball, I think. Guys keep, consistently every decade, the velocity keeps going up. So what happens when everyone throws 100 miles an hour? It's like
you wear a bigger helmet.
Does half the league not hit the ball anymore? It's like, do they just like hope they get walked? It's crazy. I mean, it's possible.
But then at the same level, I feel like you would have the best hitters in the world.
Well, that's true.
And that's such a weird one. Like a lot of people I love baseball. I love playing baseball. Baseball was one of my, like, when I was fucking 2 years old, when I was as old as my son, I could remember, like, just throwing and hitting and throwing and just... But I hated watching baseball. It was, like, super boring. And I could... At the ballpark, it's a little bit better. I can get into it. I can watch. Yeah, but it's like, if you're playing, there's nothing like it. It's so much fun.
I watch baseball every day. The Giants are playing
right now.
Yeah.
I apologize.
That's my baseball team. There's a Giants hat somewhere behind me.
Right there. Yeah. I like the background.
I watch sports like crazy though. Like, I watch basketball. Like, this is the bad time of year for me because there's no hockey or basketball. Primarily basketball. Basketball's my jam.
But you are a semi-somewhat hockey fan?
Yeah.
Who do you
yes
follow?
And no. Like, I would like to. I don't know. I just didn't. Hockey's one of those things where it's like it's big-ish, but like in certain areas for sure. Like, I grew up in California, so hockey is not a thing here. I mean, we have hockey teams, but just culturally, like, no one plays hockey.
No.
So it's like I'll watch the Sharks not every once in a while. I watch the Sharks like every other game probably during the season. But basketball, if there's basketball on TV, I'm watching it.
See, you're like, what, 6'3"?
Yeah, 6'4".
6'4". So you're.
But I didn't play basketball either. So I don't know. I did for like a year, like fifth grade.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I compare paintball to hockey a lot.
For sure. Certainly. Hockey and basketball.
Yeah.
Because hockey and basketball are almost the same thing, too.
Yeah, that is true because you are always going back and forth. I think hockey, though, a little bit quicker offense, defense. Mm-hmm. The transition's quicker, but it's still the same kind of, it's the same idea.
You kind of just wing it. Like, there's set plays to a point, you know?
But it's all intuition.
Like, after that, like, that didn't work. Now let's just do whatever we have to do to try to make it work.
Yeah.
It's like you're totally winging it. And that is for sure hockey and basketball and paintball. Kind of all just like have a play, and if it works, cool. If not, then whatever.
It's a million choices happening at once with one set goal.
God, which is crazy.
We're nuts. Paintball is so random. I don't think people realize how random it is.
It's not. Like, this is something that, like, I mean, nothing's random, but I've always talked about, like...
Meaning everything happens.
For sure. Right. But there's also, like, probability of things happening. Like, I've always wanted to go to a tournament, like, say, go to the NXL, and, like, the first day of the event, if, like, I was a scout for a pro team, right? Like, we'd get 8 guys, and we would watch every single field. Like, we'd watch the pro field, we'd watch Division 4, we'd watch the pump teams, like, everyone, and just try to figure out, like, what the percentages are of somebody going to what bunker. You know, like, if there's only an 8% chance that they're going to go to this bunker off the break, then we're not ever going to shoot it. Like, ever. Just why?
Then why even have the bunker on the field? Like...
Because people think they're going to go there, or like it blocks something out, or whatever. There's still a purpose for bunkers, but if, like, I don't know, I would just, as a player, want to know the percentages of what's going to happen.
And that could be easily, that information could be easily tracked.
Yeah, it's super simple. Like imagine if you're in the snake, right? And say you're in snake 1, and there's a back center, right? And that back center, like, can shoot you. It's technically possible. Like, he could just look over and shoot at you. But since you have all the information and you know that back center guy, no matter what team, what, like, division, 85% of the time he looks Dorito side. Like, wouldn't you want to know that?
Yeah.
So, like, okay, so 15% of the time he's going to shoot at me. Like, that's good information.
Yeah. Scouting is great.
But nobody, I don't know. I don't know if anyone actually knows that information.
It should be fairly simple. Like, you know,
it is simple.
Yeah.
It just requires a bunch of people to, like, keep records of stuff. And
it shouldn't be just one guy's responsibility.
I feel like Russian Legion used to do that. But
oh, absolutely they used to do that. They used to videotape themselves and even have
Yeah.
I mean, there's proof in the pudding. And
The good old days.
I mean, it is what it is. So
I just want to run stats. I've talked to that with multiple teams, and I'm like, this is what I would do, and they're like, yep, you're crazy. I'm like, why? Like,
that's not crazy.
but it's also like not professional teams. It's like I've talked to multiple semi-pro teams about it, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, how is that not exciting? It's like I want to know everything that's gonna happen.
It's like,
It'd
oh,
be a
that
lot
guy
of
hardly
information
looks
to
at me
remember.
ever.
Yeah, right. But like, if you don't have that information, you're like constantly like maybe worried about him. But like, man, 15% of the time he's gonna look. So whatever.
And he has a
just
1.5.
hope he
Yeah, he has a 1.5 second gap to be able to shoot you if he does. You know, if he's not
It's
there.
a hard shot anyway.
Yeah.
I'd be
You
all
should be.
about the
You should
information.
be. I don't know. I get so weird. I'm like, okay, if you shoot a guy in and he gives you something, especially if you know there's another shot, another shot on a different bunker when you get up there to be able to shoot a guy quick. On quick moves like that, I feel like they are not taking advantage of enough because we're too worried about shooting that first pod, and then
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
and then and then setting up to actually play the game. You get to your spot and you just shoot. You just shoot. You just shoot.
That's why I wanted limited paint too. But now, like I said, I think the bunkers have kind of not made it that big a deal because we definitely got to the place in the sport where, in the pro division, where guys just sat and like, I'm gonna shoot my 4 pods first, and then, maybe we'll move.
It's so
We'll see how it
irritating to me.
goes.
It's not paintball to me. I mean, it has, but at the same time, it's like for there be a match where if we're trying to grow the sport, if we're trying to make the tournament side popular, and really that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it popular and generally popular after that to the general public, getting them in. But we are not going to do it with games that are 1-2 games or 1-1 games because the person watching it is not going to understand it because it is such a lull.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Until
what are they doing?
Well, yeah, because you have to have that. You have to have that initial grab of attention, right?
So do you think we should grow the sport with tournament paintball then?
Why not? We're
I
playing
don't
the
know.
highest level of paintball that there is. You know what I mean? So I feel like it is the guys who possibly have the most influence in some other area of marketing or in some other area of anything. I feel like it's our responsibility to try and make this sport as big as it possibly can be.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I just don't know. I just think that, like, somewhere along the way, we lost the fun. Like, I still have fun playing paintball. I just mean as, like, as a whole, right? The EMEC is a perfect example of that. And I say this kind of often. I think that the paintball industry in, like, 2004-ish or whatever, were, like, shoving tournaments down our throats.
Yes.
And I think the industry and like the paintball fields and stores and whatever it was, somewhere in there lost the fun. And I think that we have to find a way as an industry to get back to the fun. And I think that the players are getting back to the fun, but the industry, as in like the manufacturers and like pro teams and tournament leagues or whatever it is, has to figure a way out for them as the industry to get back to the fun. Because, I mean, players brought back Pump. Like, the industry didn't do that. Players brought back Pump. They brought MagFed. They're bringing this mechanical thing back.
Yeah.
So I think players are creeping back toward those fun times. But I think that maybe paintball companies could help figure out ways to make it more fun again.
Yeah.
That's my spiel.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree that paintball players are the tips of the arrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and we have to be the ones. I mean, with these simple moves, we as the paintball players community need to be the ones directing all of this, and which we can. We totally can.
Yeah.
But there has to be an effort pushed forth because I'm not, the reason I care so much about this sport is because I've played it for so long, and it's become such a part of my characteristic, if that makes sense.
Sure.
You know, so it's like,
no, it's part of you.
Yeah,
It is you. Yeah,
and
for sure.
you don't want to see something that you care so much about kind of be lackluster when it could be spectacular.
It was spectacular.
It was. You
know
were
when
in
it
a
was
totally different
spectacular
world.
is when you were on excessive.
That was fun.
Back when that jersey behind you, that's when it was more spectacular.
Oh yeah, that was my very first excessive jersey.
Excessive jersey. Oh, you got an energy jersey too. That's even older. Or not? No,
Yeah.
that's newer.
Newer than
There's my
that one, yes.
Oh, you got another one.
That's nice. That's what, 2007?
Micah McLaughlin shirt.
Micah.
Micah's awesome. So Micah lives like down the street.
So funny. Here, listen to this one.
Old paintball jerseys. Oh, Micah McLaughlin. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. That's good.
I thought these were...
That's 2000. That's like 2007. The Ego 7 logo's right on there, so I guess.
Oh, yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I don't really have a bunch of jerseys. I mean, I do. I'm like looking at a big old.
So,
what's up? I'm looking at a big old. I said I'm looking at a big old stack of jerseys, or like a rack full of jerseys, and I'm like, I don't really have that many.
No, I don't. I don't really
cool.
have some either. Like mine are all just on one rack up here. That's nasty.
I can't even see if you're seeing this. Yeah.
That's not game worn though.
No, I think it's brand new.
I think that's
actually I've worn it
out of the bag.
I wore it like one time. Yeah, old Billy Saransky jersey. So this is probably 2003, 2, somewhere in there.
You wore that jersey?
Yeah.
Do you regret it?
No. I don't even know if I got shot in it. Honestly, like the sleeves are a little dirty. It's like.
Yeah. I love how they're still dirty. There's something about jerseys that's like, yeah, it's good how it is.
I don't wash shit ever.
I have my very first jersey that I bought. It's an olive green JT jersey, size large. I don't think it was called the race jersey.
Where's jersey? Hold on. I'll grab something. So this is my first paintball jersey. Yeah, this JT jersey.
Nice, that is bright as shit.
Yes, it is. So I'm.
Did you want to stand out like a light bulb whenever you were playing?
I don't know. Who knows? And like I said, I'm big. I have long arms, and this jersey was so small that it fit my torso and my body fine.
But not your
I had
arms.
to cut the arms off.
That's the same one the same one I have, but it's green. The same one.
I have a blue one as well.
And
That's
then,
my first paintball. It's just a stupid.
I like this guy.
Oh yeah. Does that have like little beads on it?
No, it has just little like
it looks
puffs
crazy.
of fabric.
Yeah. They're like pulled through, kind of.
Yeah. Pat made these for me. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. Signature series headband.
It was unexpected, and it was really cool of him to do that.
It's neat.
It boosted my confidence.
Signature series headband.
Oh, those are sick. Who makes those?
I do. Like straight up, like buy the fabric, get them manufactured, like have the fabric manufactured. It's crazy. It's a pain. Because that's all denim, like printed on denim, so it's pretty cool.
How much was it to get to?
Literally have one.
That's it.
It's the only one. This is the one of the prototypes. So yeah, headbands. But that's a way that I make money with this whole Paintball Ruined My Life thing, is selling headbands, barrel covers, and T-shirts.
Really?
Like 25 ways I make money. Yeah, it's not bad. Definitely when I get new stuff in, I sell a bunch of it, and then like there's this lull where like no one buys anything. So that's my You should get playing on podcast t-shirts made.
I should. I need to get on that.
It's so easy, man. Like $200 and you get shirts made and just see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I can get them like just one color. Just one or two color, maybe two.
Just black and white ones or whatever. Simple.
I know. I need to get some stuff. I thought about it too because I like the banners. I think the banners turned out really cool. I had those T-shirts from Raza, but I wanted to get like these are all
I didn't know that.
the sublimated ones.
Yeah.
But I like just like the old school cotton,
just
like screen print.
Yeah, I'm with you. Everyone always wants those dry fit shirts from me, and I'm like, I don't like the way they fit, and like,
yeah,
I'm all so picky about that stuff, though. Again, I'm weird shaped.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I'm always like, too short, and like it doesn't fit right, and like I'm always on the search for like perfect shirts.
And I keep them for a long time.
Yeah,
I have a Monkey with a Gun shirt that I've had since probably 2006.
My oldest piece of clothing is probably 1998. Man.
Is it a T-shirt or is it a pair of shoes?
It is. Oh man, shoes. No, definitely not shoes that old. It is a red V-neck Old Navy fleece.
Nice.
I don't think I
it, though?
ever wear it in public. No.
No.
It's just, around.
You got to get Supreme to start throwing you some money.
Well, so this is something I wanted to talk to you about, and I was curious if you can take this out or whatever, but I feel that we're the only two people that aren't associated with like a store making stuff for the internet. And I was curious because I hear you read the sponsor stuff always at the beginning. Are you getting paid?
Yeah. I mean, it's all advertisement.
No, but like Carbon, right? Like Aftershock is not sponsored by Carbon. So is Carbon, are they giving you cash?
It's all worked out in a deal that we have.
So you're making money.
Right.
Good. That's all I want to know. Because that's what I'm pushing for, right? So like that's my thing is that like I have to start making money. Like you have to make money. I mean, at some point you can't spend hours and hours a week on something and then just not have any return. It could be fun, right? And you enjoy it, but like
it's not going to pay the bills.
Too bad. I mean, I got to buy food and pay rent.
Yeah.
That's something I'm pushing for more. Is trying to get sponsored content and do advertising for some of these brands.
Have you ever heard of Patreon?
I have a Patreon. I make money off it, but I feel kind of bad, right? Because I'm like, not bad, but I feel like I owe something to the people that like give me money every month. And I do in a way, right? Like, because you're deciding to give me, money so I can keep doing this. And then I feel like since you're giving me something, I feel like forced to do something. Like I'm like,
isn't that a job though?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why I want to get rid of Patreon. So it's not as jobbish. So I feel a little bit more freed up. And like I say, it bothers me, but it really doesn't. But
if you want to do something, that you love doing, and it's just like, anybody pays for, they pay for any service. Like let's say they will pay for a TV service, or they pay for a monthly subscription to a magazine or something like, or a website or whatever. I mean, it's just they enjoy that content, and I feel like if people enjoy the content enough that they would be able to, listen to any certain podcast, which is a good like hour and a half to possibly 2 hours of good content. I think it's at least worth $1?
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I think it's at least our time and work and effort, I feel, should at least go towards that and have that on the table for the listener to actually make the decision, because it's just like, you know, if you don't like watching Fox News, or somebody doesn't like watching Comedy Central, that's gonna hit. That's what ratings are, right? So if you're not watching those certain channels, then that's, you know, a problem. So it's the same thing. So if you like, and you're paying for cable anyway, which is providing you that. So you're paying something for something that you enjoy every month or week or whatever. Why not have it at this? Just because YouTube, I don't get enough hits on YouTube, so it's not like they're paying me. But I mean, it's still, it's still time and effort put into something that people enjoy, that you could turn into something. It's like a travel blogger, or you know, name anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. People have to, like, I don't know. People have to pay for this stuff.
Yeah, you pay not to ride a bike, right? You pay for gas.
Yeah.
So you're paying somebody not to ride a bike. Well, some places you don't need, but yeah, like somebody's got to. That's how I look at it.
I've just been thinking about, like, that I want to try to grow this and get better and do all this stuff, but it requires money, you know, like. I think last month was the first month that I, like, full on everything I made from Paintball Ruined My Life. That was the first month. May was the first month where I don't know, didn't have to use other money. We'll say. So I made enough money to live off Paintball Ruined My Life. That was the first month. May was the first time I ever was able to do that. Yeah, it's crazy. One thing I want to try to do next year is, I was thinking about sponsorship stuff, is what I would like to do is go on, like, a tour where, like, I'm gone for 4 months. I want to buy a van and then get, like, sponsors to sponsor me and, like, you know, do ads for them and whatever, and just travel around and go to different paintball events. Like, I want to try to go to Living Legends and, like, D-Day and, like, an NXL event, and, like, yeah, I think that would be kind of cool, and make videos along the way.
That'd be really cool. Well, man, I really enjoyed sitting down with you.
Yeah.
I got to get going.
Certainly.
I thought it was very informative. I love the chatter back and forth, and I'd love to have you on again.
I'm down. Last time I flaked, sorry. Well, I didn't flake.
That's all good.
It was
No, dude, understandably, believe me. We're all good. And I hope she's doing okay.
Yes.
So
definitely.
I love grandmas, man. Grandmas are the shit. They teach you a lot.
Yeah, she's good.
Sweet.
It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, man. Take care of yourself. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Carl.
Well, before we go, actually, where can people find you? And
oh God. Just look Paintball Ruined My Life. Literally wherever you want, and it should come up.
Oh, on everything, every platform.
Yep. There's not enough of it, so the name is so goddamn long that if you put that in, it's gonna come up. It's so unique that it'll be there. Yeah. YouTube, Instagram, for sure. YouTube, and then Instagram are probably the two things that I'm the most active on. We'll see.
Yeah. Keep it up, man. It's awesome.
Thank you. I'll do my best.
Take care, brother.
Cool. Adios, sir.
Thank you so much, Brad, for sitting down and chatting with me. I had a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Big thank you again to our sponsors, Punishers PB, Punishers Paintball, but the website is Punishers PB. Again, they have a Spire trade-in program right now, and if you head over there and you trade in your Spire, you will get money towards. It might not be just a Spire. You might be able to trade in. I don't know the exact details, but make sure you hit them up. Look for the details over at punisherspb.com, and like I said before, if you type in the promo code TPOP, you will get free shipping on your entire order. But we are also brought to you by Charm City Paintball. The head game is completely dominated, I think, by the fabrics, the hard cotton fabrics now. I think that's coming back, just along with like the mechanical series and everything. I think all the old school stuff is coming back. But Mike over at Charm City does a great job in making some quality headbands, and you can find them over at Charm City Paintball on Facebook as well as Instagram. So thank you to Mike for helping out the podcast. Also brought to you by Carbon Paintball. They have the SC line, which has the pack, the top and bottom protective layers, which I wear myself, which are awesome. A lot of people ask me about them. I can't say enough, man. They're great. They don't slide around anywhere. They keep you cool, as well as, you know, keeping you halfway decent warm when it is colder outside. But I enjoy them. They're not heavy. They fit just right. So make sure you head to carbonpaintball.com, and if you type in the promo code capital TPOP, you will get 10% off your entire order. And if you guys have any questions about team sponsorships or anything like that, go ahead and shoot me a message, carl@carbonpaintball.com, and we'll get you hooked up. But and last but not least, we are brought to you by Planet Eclipse, the makers of the sold out CS2 and the ever so sweet Etha mechanical. I keep pushing the Etha. I don't have, that's all that I have as far as mechanicals go, and it shoots tits. But they also make the GMech, and that has more of a slide frame, so it's very personal preference on how you guys want to go. But then, like I said, they have the CS2s, they have the LV 1.5s, they have all the slickest markers out there. So make sure to head to planeteclipse.com and get the one that's right for you. Thank you everybody again for tuning in to the podcast. I had a great time. I have a great time doing this thing, and I really appreciate every single one of you out there listening. And you know, it's been fun. Every single one of these guests, I think, have been very informative, have been very important to the game itself. I have some podcasts coming up, hopefully with Matty Marshall soon, with Pat Spoor from Monkey with a Gun. He also works with Go Sports. I have, I believe Greg Sewers is going to do one here soon with me. I have a lot of guests coming up. A very, very interesting few episodes coming in. But thank you to all of you out there, all the listeners. Appreciate it. Again, do not text and drive. Keep your eyes on the road. I sound like your mom. I'm sorry, but it's true. I see it all the time. I am on the road a lot for work, and people fly by me, and their face is at their feet because they're looking at their phone, and they're going like 80 miles an hour. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. But I'm sorry to preach about it, but being alive is awesome, and you're in a torpedo of a vehicle. So just please keep your eyes on the road, and appreciate you all, man. I appreciate it. Take care, guys, and we'll see you here again soon on the Playing On podcast. See ya.